Hi, my name's Shelby. I'm a professional bridal makeup artist, and this is how I do my makeup for my own wedding. First of all, can we talk about the glow? I use the Merit Instant Glow Serum to prep my skin before I get started, and I'm obsessed with how it's making me glow. And I also have the Sol de Janeiro Coco Cabana Bronze on my chest, and then I used a little bit of the Dibs, mine's broken, status stick to like highlight and make me nice and glowy. Okay, I know this product and I have been controversial at times, but this under foundation, I had to get a new shade. I originally didn't like it, and I think when I got the new shade, I was like, okay, wait a second, this is actually fire. This is shade 4 medium of Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Filter, Hollywood Flawless Filter, and I'm applying that everywhere, and I'm going to blend that in with a brush. The brush I'm using to press this into the skin is my BK Beauty 101. You'll notice a lot of BK Beauty brushes in this video. As a professional makeup artist, these are some of the only brushes that I use in my professional kit, and are the only brushes that I use on myself. For reference, I'm combo oily, getting more oily in my T-zone area, so I am going to set my face for that in this video, and this is going to be bridal glam, so prepare yourself. If you want something soft, that'll be another video. This is going to be full beat. Okay, for foundation, I'm taking the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Foundation in the shade 5.5. Look at the shade match. Like, where does it start? Where does it stop? We don't know. And I'm going to blend this in with a brush. I'm going to use the BK Beauty 101 to blend this in. I'm kind of tapping this around because I want to get as much coverage as possible. So I'm not like really like swiping it onto the skin, if that makes sense. I'm really pressing this in everywhere and making sure that it looks nice and skin-like like this. I can already hear the comment saying, that's too much makeup. My theory as a makeup artist is light layers, so that's what we're going to be doing today. If that's not your vibe, that is totally fine. But I'm going to go ahead and tell you right now, this is what makes it last for 12, 14, 16 hours on a wedding day. So I'm going to be showing you how to get the most longevity out of your bridal makeup. Okay, that's all blended in. Let's go in with concealer. This is the Hourglass Vanish Concealer in the shade Silk. And I'm going to be applying in this placement. Also love to do like a little reverse contour. So I put some underneath where I would do my actual contour, and that just kind of helps like reinforce. It doesn't have to be quite as strong. I actually don't typically do an actual contour. I usually just do a bronzer. So anyway, let's blend this out. I'm going to use the BK Beauty 109 brush for this, and this blends everything out so seamlessly. Like, look at this under eye. No filter, no beauty mode, flawless. As a bridal makeup artist also, I'm hoping that the trend for 2024 brides is full glam again. I love a full glam beat for bridal makeup. Like, I just think it is unmatched, and I'm here for it. I like to use whatever's left over on my brush to put on my eyelid just to kind of like get that ready for eyeshadow. I don't use eyelid primer usually, so I just like to use a little bit of concealer and then call it a day. Now that we're looking a little flat, we're going in with bronzer. This is a cream bronzer. You'll see this layering technique come into play because I'm going to use a powder version also later. But we're going to use this one from Dibs. This is the shade 5.5, and I think that this is like the perfect bronzy contour bronzer. And it blends like a dream. It's so beginner friendly. You guessed it, another BK Beauty brush. This is the 106. I'm going to use this to blend this out. I like to do tapping motions with this product. I feel like it blends so beautifully if I just kind of tap it in and push it into the skin. I think it looks so good. And when it comes to the bronzer on my forehead, I just blend this back towards my hairline. Still kind of in that patting motion, but I kind of like blend backwards, if that makes sense. Looking snatched. There are so many good liquid and cream blush options. I'm going to use this one from Stay today. I normally use a Rare Beauty blush, but I'm just mixing it up. This is the shade Dreamy, and I'm just going to do the tiniest amount because these are pigmented. But I do like a lot of blush, so I might go in with another layer. They just launched some new shades of these, and I'm so excited to try them. Another BK Beauty brush. This is the 112. I promise this isn't sponsored. I just really love their brushes. I also am realizing that this is all high-end makeup, so if you want to see a drugstore version of this, let me know. I like to place my blush right above where we did our cream bronzer, and I even blend this back up into my temples and then bring it onto the apple of my cheek a little bit, and I just feel like that looks so flattering on my face shape, and I do this on a lot of clients too, actually. I feel like it makes them look really nice and snatched. And just because it's my wedding day, Doesn't mean we're going to stray from putting blush on the chin. You already know, girl. Okay, ever since I tried this a few days ago, I've been using it non-stop. This is the Laura Mercier Ultra Blur Translucent Setting Powder. And girl, it's so good. I'm going to use a powder puff to really press this into the skin. I like to start with the under eyes first, but I want you to see. That's insane. It looks so good. My favorite alternative to this is the Huda Beauty Easy Bake Loose Setting Powder. I am either in the shade Cupcake or Pound Cake. Either one works really well, and I love them both. But I've just recently been on this Laura Mercier Ultra Blur Cake, and I'm obsessed with it. Look at my under eyes right now. They're gone. They've disappeared. I like to use a translucent powder anywhere that I put concealer, and then I'm going to go back and reinforce our bronzer and blush with powder versions of those products. So I don't put translucent powder over those areas. For powder bronzer, I'm using the Hourglass powder bronzer in the shade Luminous Bronze Light. I think that's the shade, and I'm using a big BK Beauty brush. This is the 103, and I literally dust this everywhere. I love having a big fluffy brush for this because I feel like it does all the blending work for me. I'm going to use my Fawn Beauty blush palette for powder blush, and I'm just gonna like mix them all. And another BK Beauty brush. This is the 107. I love this for blush. I think it fits the cheek perfectly. And again, a nice big brush that does all of the blending for you, and of course a little bit on the chin. Okay, if you want a full tutorial on brows alone, let me know because I can film that for you. I put in a little bit of clear brow gel from Kosas, and then I'm just filling in with my Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Wiz pencil in the shade Medium Brown. I do like to carve out the underneath part of my eyebrows with a little concealer brush. This one's actually from Sigma. This is the Firm Shader E57, but I like to use it for concealer. And I'm using the Huda Beauty Faux Filter Concealer in the shade Nougat. For eyeshadow, I'm keeping it very simple. I'm using the Major Dimension 3 palette from Patrick Ta, mixing together some of the warm bronzy shades up top. This is a fluffy brush from BK Beauty, and this is the 201. I'm just putting this in my crease and blending it back and forth, blending it up kind of towards the brow bone, just all over the eyelid. Now I'm taking the second darkest brown shade, same brush, putting that right in the outer V, and then I'm going to blend out the edges of that. Okay, we're going to take a flat brush. This is the Sigma E25, and I'm going to mix this bone shade and the white shade in the palette, and I'm going to put that on the inner third, kind of inner half of my eye, just like that. And you could stop here if you want, but I'm going to add glitter. These are the Patrick Ta eyeshadow toppers. This is She's Giving Rich. And I'm going to put that right over where we put that lightest shade. Oh, so pretty. I'm going to do my favorite little smudged liner thing that I always do. I have a full tutorial on this, but basically just a black, very thin line on your lash line and then smudge it out with black eyeshadow. I'll show you what it looks like. This is the ColourPop liquid liner, by the way, in the shade 1. Sigma pencil brush, black shadow from the Patrick Ta palette, and I literally just smudge over the eyeshadow until it looks blended out. I just realized I said eyeshadow. I meant eyeliner, sorry. Now you can curl your lashes and add mascara of choice. I always recommend a waterproof because it holds curl longer and you don't want raccoon eyes. I thought these effortless lashes from Velour would be perfect for this look, and guess what they're called? Soulmate. I love the effortless line from Velour because you don't have to trim them down. They're already the perfect length. I'm just going to add glue and pop them on. Okay, while the glue is getting tacky for the lashes, I'm going to smudge out with a little bit of my bronzer and whatever's left over on this pencil brush under my bottom lash line. I got to dust away some of these sparkles. How perfect are these lashes? I'm obsessed with them. We're going to highlight using my favorite highlighter from Rare Beauty. This is the shade Exhilarate. Blinding. The lip combo is going to be e.l.f.'s new lip liner in the shade Baddest Beige. I think we're going to do this liquid lipstick from Dose of Colors in the shade Cozy as our lipstick. Let's see what that looks like. I had to add a little concealer to the center because it's me and this wouldn't be a Shelby lip look if I didn't. And now I'm tapping it in with my finger. Topping it off with the new e.l.f. lip oil in the shade Pink Quartz. Setting with the Scandinavia setting mist. This ain't gonna budge. Do I look ready to walk down the aisle or what? This is like my favorite bridal look I've ever done. I'm obsessed with it. Thanks for watching. Love you.